Just killed a mosquito. Hey guys, so this is such a spontaneous share, but I'm just making sauerkraut and my landlord actually just walked in. I'm in Bali now. We're at our little spot in Barawa, and she just got home. She was like a little bit, we had some rain leakage thing going on in our room, and she was like, oh, what are you making? And I was like, I'm making sauerkraut. I love making sauerkraut and putting it in the jar and like having fresh sauerkraut, and it's like so easy and so yummy. And it just inspired me because like it's so easy. And sauerkraut, this one that I make using purple cabbage and salt, that's it. It lasts like weeks in the fridge. It could last months, but like I eat it within weeks. And it's so good for your gut, for good probiotics. I eat it every morning with my eggs. I'll have either fried eggs or boiled eggs, and a ton of sauerkraut, and then maybe some avocado or a few nuts. And this is like a staple on my breakfast plate. And if not on my breakfast plate, then on my like lunch or dinner, just add color to add good probiotics. I love putting my sauerkraut in my bowls if I'm having like some tempeh or tofu, because I'm in Bali and the tempeh and the tofu here is quality. It's so fresh, it's so good, it's so clean. So basically all you need is just like a head of purple cabbage, and I just cored it. So take the core out. I have the core here. Anyone can do this at home, really. So I'm super excited to share this with you. All you guys need is salt, cabbage, and a big bowl, and then like a ball jar, like a jar that can go airtight. So, and like you see how mine, I have this juice left over from my old one. I'm just gonna keep it in there. So I cored it, and I'm just gonna dice it now. I just did it like this, maybe half an inch, and then I'm just doing little kind of diced. I never have a specific flow, to be honest. Oh, that looks old. Yeah, throw out some pieces that are not looking so yummy. I never have a specific flow, to be honest. I think that's what makes my creation in the kitchen so yummy and spontaneous, is that I just like wing it every time. And maybe most people would disagree about that, but like follow a recipe. But honestly, when you have enough knowledge and confidence with what you're doing in general, you can take that route. You know what I mean? So I just threw it in here and like loosed it up. I personally love when there's like some pieces that get stuck together. Cause like when they ferment, it gets it's like a fermented clump of like goodness in my mouth. So yeah, it will naturally fall apart, but like you can obviously leave those pieces. And depending, some sauerkraut can be super, super thinly sliced. So like I might do a mix. Let's see. So like I did this a bit thick, but maybe like for this one, I'll do it, because sometimes you get sauerkraut and it's like really thin, like, like this. So it really just like depends your preference. But what I was sharing is that once you have enough confidence in whatever it is that you're doing, then it gives you the freedom to not stay in the box, like, in other words, when I'm confident in the kitchen. I know what tastes what. I know what flavors are good with what flavors. I'm attuned to my senses, and I can naturally pick up what's good with what. So I'm very confident in that sense, and I don't need to follow a recipe. Like I can, I make up the recipe as I go, and that goes for anything in life. Once we're having that confidence, once we have that confidence, we can, you know, be free to do what we want to do and not stay in one, you know, in the box. You know, the recipe's like the box. Nothing against recipes. I love recipes. Some recipes I make, some dishes I make are so good. I force myself to write the recipe down because I know it will never be the same if I attempt it again, because I'm usually just doing things by eye. So it never ever comes out the same. But some of those recipes I'm like, okay, I need to write this down so it comes close to the same. I don't know if you guys ever have that problem. Probably most of you are following a recipe, which is also awesome too. So this is quite fun. I didn't chop it this way. I just did it this way, and I'm just gonna flow with it. So there's that. And get a big enough bowl so you have enough room to play, and like you're basically gonna be using your arm and your muscles for the rest of the show here. So make sure you have a big enough bowl so it doesn't come flying out. And it's so funny, I'm so grateful for this because my landlord brought this bowl over because it's raining and there were leaks in our bedroom, and he brought this to catch the rainwater. And I was about to make my sauerkraut this morning, and I was just thinking, like, we just moved in, and I was just thinking, oh shoot, like I don't have a bowl to make my sauerkraut. Maybe I was gonna make it in the pot, but it wasn't big enough. And then I remembered, oh, he brought these bowls over, so life is perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna put this in the sink and clean up a bit. So if you have a medium head of cabbage, I would say you want around like a couple tablespoons, like maybe 1 tablespoon more or less of the salt. And you can use sea salt, you can use let's get a good angle for you guys. So basically about 1 tablespoon if you have like a medium-sized cabbage. And I have this salt, but it's quite thick, so I don't think it's gonna melt. I'm gonna use this fine grain sea salt that I have here, and I'm just gonna like cover it, you know, with salt, and I'll always add more if needed. And you're just gonna start to like squish it. I mean, it's really good therapy if you have like, you know, some things you want to just get out of you. This is a really great make sauerkraut. Feeling intense emotions, make sauerkraut. Feeling angry, make sauerkraut. Feeling overwhelmed, make sauerkraut. It's a really good outlet. That's basically what I'm saying. So you don't need to add any water, because eventually what we're gonna do is we're gonna pack all of it in the jar, and the cabbage is gonna be completely covered by its own juices. So this is like the salt is gonna create its own juices to where you start to see, like you already start to see it's getting smaller and smaller. And eventually it will make its own juice to where once we pack it in the jar, that it basically gets like packed under its own juices. So you could add water to make sure that it's covered completely by water at the end, but yeah, like if you do it long enough, you'll see it will create its own juice. And you can also do this with regular cabbage, the green one. You can mix them, and I'm sure you know, of course you can do it with any other vegetable. If you wanted to grate some carrots or radish or cucumbers, I'm sure you can do it, but personally I like to keep mine super simple. If I had some fennel, I would probably put some in here, maybe some coriander. I love fennel. It's such a cooling herb. If you have a lot of indigestion and like constipation, fennel's a really good herb. Drinking fennel tea, I love to drink. Fennel has a property a lot like mint. It's very cooling, and yeah, it cools the inside of your body. So